What's up? Good morning. Today is Thursday, December 28th, 2023. All is well on my end. I say that kind of shakenly or nervously, really just laughing about the situation. But when I left off from you, um, it was on Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. So I submitted my paperwork for Amazon brand registry, and they denied me. I sent in some more information. They denied me again. So then I sent in more information, and now it's been 3 days, almost 4 days. When was this? Let me check real quick. 3 days, a long 3 days since I've heard back from them, and they're still looking at it right now. So to me, that's more so a good sign that it should happen relatively soon, but we shall see. We'll see what other hoops and hurdles that we have to jump through in order to get coffee to the masses, so to speak. So it's going well. The end of the year is going well. Did some keeping a little bit yesterday, the day before, moving things around, having some more order in the house. And yeah, I will be going to the warehouse to set up some stuff, for the packaging and shipping to Amazon. So, and then leaving off my permit sticker too. Not sticker, but paper that has to be posted. But other than that, those are some of the things that I'm working on. I'm going really big into audio for some more reason. I went ahead. I'm going to renew my subscription for my GoPro. They make it extremely difficult for you to upload images and all that stuff onto a website. You can do it manually, but it's very difficult to actually take out that micro SD card and then put it in a compatible adapter SD reader. It's just too much work. So right now, I'll just go ahead and pay the $5 a month, or it's a little less than that. It's about $5. Is it $5? It's about $4.50, something like that. And then I did order a mic. I did have this old Rode mic that I had on my other camera that I barely used, but this one's wireless and it came out significantly, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. And it has two speakers, so if I wanted to do an interview in the wild, so to speak, I can do that. Of course, I have to practice it first to make sure everything works correctly. But yeah, so audio. I'm liking this audio thing. I even did a couple test runs up in the car, audio podcasting, just talking in general. And I also walked with it, but walking didn't really come out too well. It seemed like I was struggling, to tell you the truth. But yeah, so that was more so the situation that I was dealing with. And then, so audio. Audio seems extremely easy for me. It's on the scale of less intimate than writing, especially when I was writing back in the day. When I first started to write, things just started to come out, really just come out to me, and just, I didn't realize how much I had in me. And that's what it kind of feels like with these podcasts. I do have topics from time to time. I do have a list of like 20 so far of topics I'm going to talk about in the future. But a lot of times I am just going from the cuff, and I'm really surprised how I can get up to 15, 20 minutes and I'm just talking, about sometimes nothing. I'll say that. But a lot of times it's just getting my thoughts out and hopefully providing something usable for you. That actually brings me to a soft topic that I wrote down or was supposed to write down, but it's called sustainability. I don't know if that's going to be the title of this particular podcast episode, but when I bring up sustainability, I think about that a lot. There's a lot of things that we do in our lives that we kind of go back and forth to what is sustainable, what we do and our routines and things like that, hanging out with friends or not, but quite a bit of times it's one of those things to where when you start something new, you're really curious to see how sustainable it can be, right? Especially if it's something that you enjoy or you think that you enjoy, something that you don't mind having in your life, So that's where I'm at with this, and currently I podcast twice a week and I like that. It's pretty cool. And I was almost thinking about picking up another day just because I do like it a lot. And it's really something that's a lot of fun to me. And I think it's okay for if I do pick up another day for it to be randomly, something that's not committed to, but I don't know. But in general, sustainability is something I think about all the time. I think about it in coffee. I think about it in work stuff. I think about it in fitness, how I'm going to do this every day, because like I talked about either last episode or whatnot, like I did fitness for 2 to 3 days a week. And then now, I don't know, that's just me having an extreme nature, is that I do it every day. It's not crazy, but it's just enough to get me going. But I do it every day, no matter what. It's for 15, 20 minutes. On the weekend, it's even less. It's just a couple squat sets. But sustainability, what does that really mean? It's like, can you keep enduring or can you keep doing this no matter what the world throws at you? That's, so to speak, the definition of what that is to me. And there's certain things that you do want to become a habit, but there are other things where you don't, or you're trying to eliminate it. And that's also something that I would like to challenge myself in the new year to kind of see what will stick, what won't stick, and what things that I am having problems with. I know one of the things that I am going to be working on once this video actually transfers to the GoPro Media Library is video. I know video is going to be extremely important in what I want to give out to you, because although I may love podcasting, I know it's just one medium that people will love to gravitate to, and yeah, so, and I'm not showing myself, which I think showing yourself is kind of a little overrated. Me personally, I like the sense of not being present, or that's not the right word. I like the part of being there, but not showing you that I'm there, and that's extremely important to me, because if I had to be on video all the time, kind of talking, I think that would lose its muster, at least for me. And I think the most important thing is for you to get the message of what I'm talking about, literally talking about, than anything else, you know? So that's where I'm at with a lot of this stuff. And it's pretty cool though that I've been consistent. I've been sustaining this system for about 3-4 months now. About 4 months now, yeah. So I will let you know, I have a coffee that I bought. I think I mentioned a while back ago that I ordered from one of my favorite places to order coffee. Sometimes their coffees are hit or miss, but for the most part, they are consistent. But with this particular coffee, it's a Kenyan coffee, so washed coffee. I think it's double washed or whatnot. But I really want to go into the rabbit hole with this coffee, you know? So I want to roast it a couple different ways. I want to drink it so many different ways, and I want to document it, you know? So yeah, so it's going to be interesting the way I go about this kind of mini series. And I don't know if I should call it season 2, you know, but I think I'll leave it as season 1 still. And then I'll just title it a little differently when I do have those episodes to kind of give you an idea of what's going on, you know, something like that. I'll figure it out along the way, as with everything is, you know. But I want to show you some of the things that I go through in truly, really analyzing the coffee and geeking out and just being a consumer of good product, you know. And I hope that we learn something together in this process. I did roast this coffee when my brother was here a couple of weeks ago. So it's going to be about 3 weeks. I think I roasted it on the 7th. So right today is 3 weeks. So I don't know why I did that, but you know, coffee really, to me, it can last a month and a half and stuff if it's covered and contained and all that stuff. So I'm not too worried about it being not ultimately at the peak of the peak, you know. I think when I start drinking it, which is going to be on Sunday, it's going to be at the peak. And we're just going to enjoy it and see where it is. And then I think more than likely, once I get through some of this Amazon stuff, I will start the process of roasting again, video recording it, kind of get an idea of what's going on with all that stuff. And then just documenting it, you know, giving it back to you. Hopefully you may have questions about it, but I am looking forward to the process of me just really going all out and just having a good time with this coffee. I do have some documentations of what it is and how high the coffee's grown and all that stuff, but it's more than anything, it's a coffee that I haven't had in a long time. It's been close to 3 years since I've had a Kenyan, and the last Kenyan that I did have was, I would say, the most interesting, bizarre coffee that I've ever had. And I would say sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way, but it was a coffee that was starbursty, full of fruit, full of life. It was a natural Kenyan coffee. It was clean, but it took so many different turns. It was more frustrating than anything. And then sometimes when you did get that coffee right, it was like whoa, what the hell is this? But a lot of times it was just frustration. I don't know if it was because of the natural process of the nature of the coffee. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to enjoy this Kenyan in its present state in the way that it is, and then kind of just really enjoying it for what it can bring to me or us, because even though it is a coffee that I admire or look forward to, it's one of those things that I just want to geek out about, just want to enjoy, just get back to being a coffee lover, for whatever reason, and I'm looking forward to the possibilities of what things I will learn and what I can give back to you. I believe a lot of times as consumers is very simple. We have our routines, sustainable routines. and we just kind of, whenever we do get a new product, we just kind of insert it into the routine, which is perfectly fine, right? Because we have to do things that we're used to, that we know, that we're not scared about, that we're familiar with. But in this case, it's one of those things to where it's extremely important to see if we can push the boundaries a little bit, right? To see if it makes sense for things to be pushed and to be explored and to just do something a little differently than what we're accustomed to. So that's where I'm at with, the process of beyond just, the coffee routine and figuring things out and doing something for the day, for the moment, and then kind of keep it pushing. I think it's something to where it's a little bit more elevated, something that it's more so I look forward to, even more so than the routine, than the regular schedule, if that makes sense. But yeah, so again, I'm looking forward to giving back, to letting you see how I get down and my processes and why I do what I do and why it makes sense to me. So yeah, I think that's it. Something like that. But other than that, that's what I got going. Being off, being present, that's been going well. So I am looking forward to what's next. And I hope to be able to provide you with things that make sense, as we figure things out together, And if you want to, shoot me email, do socials, all that good stuff, which that's a topic in another. Just reach out to me. I'm out there. I'm on the website. Send me a message, anything, or even respond to this post on this link, and just let me know what you think or things that you're looking for. So yeah, that's what I got going, and I will talk to you later. Bye.